We got to call Julie. No, we call her and then I tell her what's up.
Call her and then intro. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. JSP. Best thing about the Skype update is literally I can just do that. And it's gonna call her.
All right, you want me to say hi when she answers?
I don't care. I can if you want.
Sure. So you can. Sure. This is episode 45, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I know why.
Call Afghanistan, because that's what I did once.
That was so funny. Ow!
That was actually.
Hey,
that was
Nick, how are
that
you?
was so funny.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
That Afghani guy was literally the most confused human being of all time.
What do you mean it's Nick? Who's Nick?
Hello?
Hey Julie, it's Jared. How are you?
Hey, Jared. I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing well. I'm glad I caught you before bedtime.
Yeah, right? Just getting ready to go.
We got Nick, Lauren, and our producer Pat are here as well.
Hey, Julie.
Awesome. Hi, everyone.
Hey, so this is Nick. Thank you for coming on.
Yes, of course. Thanks for having me.
So what our usual game plan is, we usually run with the guests for about 15, 20 minutes or however long. The interview lasts. Couch Guys Sports Loose Change Podcast, episode number 45. We got a big show today, Super Bowl preview week. This is, we had the Super Bowl last year, again, and just being in New England, as pompous as it sounds, per usual, we just kind of expect to have this show, or at least I expected it again this year. But before we get into anything Super Bowl, we have a big guest on from Barstool Sports and ESPN. Her name is Julie Stewart-Binks. Julie, thank you so much for coming on today. We are very, very excited to have you on.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. So, my first question, actually, it's you and Barstool just kicked off your very own Sirius satellite radio station. And it's been awesome so far. I'm loving all the Twitter videos, and the content has just been phenomenal. So I just kind of wanted to grab a general question first. How you liking it? You having fun?
Well, thanks so much for listening. First of all, it's pretty early in the morning for some people. 7 a.m. Eastern on Sirius XM 85. There's my plug. Yeah, it's been great. I mean, it's a whole new world for what I'm doing because 2 hours of sports talk radio every day is a remarkable opportunity, but it really puts a lot of onus, as you guys know, kind of on yourself to be, fully up to date on everything that's going on, to have so many different themes and angles and ideas of how to explore stuff because 2 hours, you got to really talk about stuff a lot. So it's been great. And as you mentioned, I work at ESPN as well, and I've been a sideline reporter as well as an anchor, sort of more traditional formats of broadcasting my entire life. And what I like about Barstool is that it is the complete opposite of that. So while still doing a traditional quote-unquote radio show, the content, the discussion, everything is so much more unfiltered, so much more authentic, and that is really what Barstool tries to be. It's the conversation you have at the bar, and sometimes we say stuff that's like really ridiculous, and then sometimes we'll have heated debates on really relevant themes in society. So it's been great to sort of take on this new challenge, and obviously working at Barstool is a ton of fun.
Honestly, one of the most wild things that I think for you, at least, is the fact that you work for Barstool and ESPN. It's kind of like working for the Yankees and the Red Sox. The rivalry there has been, been awesome content. It's been awesome to pay attention to. But question, though, for me, what do you think would be better content for you guys at Barstool? The Patriots winning again and Prez getting to wipe everybody's face in it, especially Smitty's? Or do you think it would be better if the Eagles won, kick Prez down a little bit, and then Smitty, Roan, and Fran, and there's another Eagles fan in there, but they get to go after Prez? What do you think would be better off for you guys?
Well, that's a good question. I think because what Barstool is Dave Portnoy's dream child, is that the better content would be probably, and for all of us, if the Patriots win, because when Dave's happy, everyone's happy. It's sort of the whole New England versus the world, Barstool versus the world, that it is such a strong New England fan base, Boston, and they, even Erica Nardini, our CEO, is a big Patriots fan. So that is a general consensus in the office. Dave thrives being, dominant and being the alpha that sort of goes at everyone else.
A little bit, yeah.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, the Bleacher Report guy coming. He's bringing people in the mud, and everyone enjoys that because Dave is the first guy who will never sort of leave who he is. He is the most authentic, and everyone loves him for it because he will do anything, and he is Barstool. So I think it would probably be a funny narrative to see Smitty on top and like not being always made fun of, and of course Roan and Fran like all triumphing, and Dave being kicked down. But at the end of the day, Barstool is all about, swinging for the fences and being bigger and better, and that happens when Dave is the best Dave he can be. So I guess Patriots win, and that's all good.
I wouldn't hate that either. So Julie, Dave, obviously we know has a big head, but I'm curious what you think, because Bleacher Report CEO has come out and said, you guys are just fraternity content, and you're coming from the world of ESPN where you're like Bleacher Report in the sense of a traditional media member. Seeing both sides, how do you take those comments? Like, how do you feel about those Bleacher Report comments to you guys?
I mean, it's an interesting dichotomy, especially for me. I've been afforded the opportunity of getting to be on the inside, be in the office, be around everyone. And I'm not just saying this because they pay my salary, but I have yet to be in a more welcoming environment than I have been at Barstool, where it feels like summer camp. It feels like when a supply teacher comes in and you're like in drama class, like it's so much fun. Everyone is very supportive. Everyone, it has in the past had content that could have been seen as towing the fraternity line, but mostly because it is so popular in colleges. And we did the tailgate show earlier in the fall, and it was incredible to just see how strong the brand was all throughout the colleges. And I think people can get confused in sort of being popular amongst younger, especially a more male-dominated audience, just being popular there versus towing a fraternity line. And everyone inside the office has been, so awesome to me. And I'm a feminist, like I'm an empowered female. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't. And Dave and all the guys are like, be yourself, be authentic to who you are, and we support that. And I think it's an easy avenue to go down as a Bleacher Report president to say that Barstool's like this and will never be like us because of that. Because that's just that's rhetoric. That's not necessarily true. That's just what everyone thinks it is. But when you are on the inside and when you do a deep dive into Barstool, like, it's not necessarily in any way fraternity content. It's more just what's funny and what's edgy and what's cool and what people are talking about. And to be honest, a lot of these companies, as we know, are scared of Barstool because they are the ones that are getting the views, they're getting the clicks, and everyone wants to be Barstool and they're trying to be like them. And in essence, they're scared of them in that way.
Well, yeah, you know what? That's what doesn't make sense to me, because the CEO is saying one thing, but then Dave's coming out and being like, well, you know what? The founders said this about us, said that they actually fear us. We're the only company that they fear. So I just think it's a little dumb, frankly, just to be stupid and just come out and say stuff like that when the guy who founded the company is saying something completely different.
You talking about the Bleacher Report guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that he obviously doesn't know Barstool well enough that you don't go after Barstool ever, or you're going to look really bad, as we all know. True. You know, it's number one rule of going up against Barstool is don't go up against them. Because look, now, you know, it was put out today, Barstool has now surpassed ESPN in a number of apps as like the most downloaded free sports app out there, because the Stoolies are so fierce and anything, you know, they will come at us. Like, I've noticed that since working there, that like Stoolies will be the first ones to try to ruin your life. But then if someone tries to ruin yours, they're the first ones backing you up.
Yeah, absolutely. And Julie, I love that you said that Barstool allows you to be yourself, and you can just, you know, be yourself out there and give the best content you can. Obviously, in this field, it's very male dominated, and I've been in the field for a few years now myself, and I've dealt with, you know, typical, like, oh, it's because you're a girl, you're doing this, or it's because you're a girl that people listen to you, kind of thing. So kind of just like a general question of how do you use that as kind of motivation to do better? I mean, obviously you're very talented at what you do, you know what you're talking about, and obviously that gives, you know, us as women confidence to bring more content, but kind of just like, how do you use that against people who kind of put you down because you're a woman in the sports world?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's definitely a theme I've had to, you know, go against since my first days in the industry. Is always, I did my undergrad thesis on women sports broadcasters and just dealing with all different types of harassment. And one of them is just everyone assuming based on your gender and stereotypes around your gender that you don't know what you're talking about. And the thing is, and I remember this being told to me at a young age, it's like, you will have to work harder, twice as harder than any other guy out there just to prove yourself. And everyone is always going to assume when you walk in the room that you don't know what you're talking about, versus when a man walks into the room, they would assume that they instantly know everything about sports, even if they didn't. So you know, I've had to, of course, battle that, but being in the industry, the length of time that I've been in it, you know, I've worked in so many small towns in Canada and going to Fox Sports 1 and ESPN, you don't get it as much anymore. But of course, coming to whenever you're new anywhere, everyone always questions like who you are, what you've done, and just the legitimacy of anything. But you're always going to have like all these haters, and it sucks, but it's like this thick skin. And honestly, what I tell people is just like the more women that we have doing all of this, the less it becomes about our gender and the less it becomes highlighting. You know, we're like, you walk into the room and you're the only female there. When there's more women around, it becomes just a normal thing. And which I like is that, you know, obviously Barstool has been mostly male since the beginning of inception of the company. But with Rhea, Fran, Liz, obviously Erica, and Deirdre, and there's more women coming. It's becoming less just that the type of male environment, and Dave sees that, you know, obviously women can add to the conversation and can bring a different perspective and are legitimate. And just because we have a certain body part that's different than theirs doesn't mean we're any you know, less of a person to be able to talk about sports. And I find this now chapter of my life interesting because I've been always in a visual medium where a lot of what I did also did based on what I look like as well. I mean, anyone in TV knows that TV does rely on your looks too, and your hair and your makeup and what you're wearing. And now none of that matters. Like, I'm on radio every day and no one knows what I look like. Or if I blog something, or if I do even, a video on the street or something, it doesn't matter any of that stuff. And that's what I like at this point, because it just shows just a shift in how we view women and the longevity of their careers in the industry.
Julie, we'll be the first ones to tell you you're crushing the game. So all of that stuff,
Amen.
It is BS. It doesn't matter. You are crushing it. And again, we love you on Barstool. But you want to talk some Super Bowl?
Sure. Let's go ahead.
All right. So, Eagles. I'm not like most Patriots fans in regards to the Eagles scare the hell out of me. I do not think this is going to be a blowout like some people are saying. I think the Eagles defense is badass, and they got a guy like Fletcher Cox who is badass. Do you think there's a chance that the Eagles can win this game and slow down Tom Brady? Because I think this game all comes down to how Tom Brady plays.
Yeah, I think that you're right in that I definitely like the fact that the Eagles, their defense, the swag that they're rocking right now, even on the offensive side, their O-line is like one of the best in the league. They've got like a couple of sneaky factors that could help them. It's sort of a really weird Super Bowl to try to predict because, I mean, whenever you see the Patriots, and I think now more so after what we saw them do last year, it's just you just know they can crush anyone like an ant, and their ability to adjust, especially those defensive adjustments in the second half against the Jags. They just know their opponents so well. They don't freak out because they've been there before. Saying that, I do believe, and I know Gronk said it today, that he will play Sunday. So having a healthy Gronk will certainly be a huge asset. Tom Brady's hand, all that could be obviously any kind of just weird tricks that everyone plays ahead of Super Bowl. You don't want to say Patriots because it's like such an easy answer. The hard part is, I think without a doubt if Carson Wentz was playing, I think we would say, honestly, Eagles would have the advantage.
Yeah, me too.
The wild card is Nick Foles. Although he played really well against the Vikings, even against the Titans, it's like, you know what I mean? Or wait, yeah, it's just, you just like, I don't know, it's a weird one to predict. The only thing, I hope we have a game because I can't personally watch like the Patriots blow out Philly, especially early. Like, Philly needs to come out really strong. Like, if they come out really strong, control that pace of play, we know that the Patriots are so good at coming back, but Philly needs a strong start for sure.
Well, you mentioned Nick Foles, Julie. Do you think that, obviously we know he played against Case Keenum and he's filling in and he's got a good team around him, but like, do you think the Tom Brady effect on the other side has anything to do with his play? Like, do you think that he looks across the field and goes, oh crap, like I got to put up points and pushes because of the fact that they are going against Tom Brady?
Yeah, I think that like people underestimate the mental game of just even this week. And, Willie Cologne's on our show. He played in 2 Super Bowls, won one of them. And the whole week is such a mind fuck because there's so much time ahead of it, and there's media, there's all this weird stuff. You're at the Super Bowl. Tom's done this like 7 times or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, or whatever, at 5. He's done it like so many times. He knows exactly, like, down to the second of how to deal with the week. Nick Foles never fucking been near this place before, and now he's got to deal with tickets and people asking him questions and kind of now being this like, wow, revered new starter, and like everything's coming up Nick Foles. And just the mental game with that and prepping. And then he looking down the field and seeing Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. I can't imagine what that feeling would be like in a Super Bowl. Just knowing that, I think on that Falcons effect last year probably has more of a mental impact than we even imagined, especially in a game like this. But then saying that, like, the Patriots haven't looked like ridiculously amazing, and even they haven't really been tested a whole lot, and it's crazy that their ride to the Super Bowl has been as easy as it has been. Even though in the third quarter against Jacksonville, you could say there was at least a bit of pressure put on them, but they haven't really gone under like a huge amount of stress to get here. So, I mean, I'm definitely not betting on this game, but it would be nice to see Philly get something. Like, I feel for those fans. As someone from Toronto who, I mean, they haven't really won anything ever for a really long time. I understand that fight of being like from a town that sucks in championships. So
I hate Eagles fans. Eagles fans stink.
They're awful. They're awful. People think we're annoying as Patriots fans. No.
I think it's a chicken and an egg with the Eagles fans. Like, I think they're annoying because they don't have anything.
I just think they're psychos.
I think they're crazy. They won the game by how many points? And they were still throwing stuff at the Vikings fans. Like, come on.
Mm-hmm. They don't have a whole lot to live for. You know, you guys know exactly. You're like, this is what it's like every year. Yeah, your season began at the AFC Championship, as Dave always says.
That's true. Especially people our age, because, I mean, we're all in our 20s and, like, we haven't really experienced the pain. The biggest pain we felt has been, like, the Red Sox when they could not beat the damn Yankees in the early 2000s. That's, like, the pain that we felt.
You guys have had it all coming up, all things in Boston. There, you probably even you got to see the Bruins win the Stanley Cup, I'm sure, were you still like, in high school then?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, because we're talking about distractions. I personally think that Tom Brady released Tom versus Time to be a huge distraction and show Nick Foles, hey, you know what? I'm ready. You better be preparing, because if not, fuck you. I'm going to win this game. How big of a distraction is that series to the Eagles and to Nick Foles? Are they paying attention? Are they watching all this? Because everyone else is.
Well, it's ironic because I thought about that too. Wow, Tom Brady's releasing like a documentary during Super Bowl week, which you would think that would be the absolute wrong time to ever release a documentary, as it would be a distraction to Tom. But as you said there, it's like the flip spin zone is actually a distraction to Nick. But on that being said, because he released that documentary, all the attention's on Tom right now. And thank God for Nick. Like, Nick should be just like counting his lucky stars that Tom has that recovery glove on or whatever, because it's just less media attention on Nick. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Tom loves the attention.
You think he loves it?
He's wearing a glove for no
I think
reason.
it's secret. I think he secretly loves it.
Look at he made the video.
I think he's so good at acting at this point that, like, every answer he gives, you know, he's like kind of smiling, and he's like, you sort of believe that he's like, yeah, you know, yeah, this is like a great week. And you know, he's just like acting right now. He's like, I need to just not do this.
Like the "we'll see" comment, for the AFC title game. Yeah, we'll see if I'll play. Who knows? With a giant smirk ear to ear on his face, like, you know,
he just does that weird smile where you know if someone's talking to you and they say something and you're like you force smiling it, but he's good at acting it. I think he's a sneaky good actor right now. And I'm not a Tom hater at all. I mean, I work at Barstool. It's like a big Patriots blowjob every day there. So it's like, I'm all for that. And I'm Canadian, obviously. So actually my first NFL game I went to was Pats-Bucks at Wembley Stadium in London, England. So I kind of like have an affinity towards the Patriots because of that.
Damn.
That's what we like to hear. That was really good. So just my general question regarding both teams, kind of, what are your biggest concerns going into the game for each team?
Oh, I mean, that's a great question. I wish I could be in the mindset of Bill Belichick right now and be worried, knowing what exactly. I have no idea what he's legitimately worried about. But I would say, I mean, Eagles, you know, they're so good at rushing the passer. Their defense is definitely like so strong. They're so physical up front, you know, both sides of the ball, their front seven. Their O-line, again, I said before, like one of the, you know, best in the league. New England's going to have a difficult time with their defense. Probably going to want to run the ball, I guess, as much as possible, wear them out. You know, just move the ball, probably just eating up yards. And then wait for a moment to like strike down the field. And we saw Danny Amendola had a great game against the Jags, and he could easily be Tom's biggest target. And then we got Gronk there too. Again, I think we don't know. I mean, his hand looks fine. Okay, whatever. He's got a Band-Aid on it. The stitches are gone. But their O-line is going to want to really protect him because Eagles are going to be coming out fucking fierce. And so that's going to be, you know, a huge aspect for them. And then I think it's just Nick Foles dealing with essentially, the pressure there and being in that situation. And if Nick can have a game and if they can come out there and make some like good, simple plays early, start getting the confidence, get up, maybe score. I know the Patriots haven't scored what single point in any of their Super Bowls in the first quarter. So take advantage of that. And then we'll see. I mean, I'm obviously not coaching in the Super Bowl, so I can't really give that much insight, but that's my 2 cents.
Julie, I got 2 more very quick questions, and then we'll let you go. First one. I thought it was hilarious this week just because it was such a dumb comment. This is going back to your show on Barstool Radio, 7 to 9, Channel 85. When Smitty was in talking to Willie Colon about Philly fans, Eagles fans, and Colon starts talking about the story when fans were throwing batteries at his mother with lupus, and then Smitty goes, did she have a sign on her that said she had lupus? I would have just been like, Smitty, what? You don't throw batteries at anybody, especially older women, especially mothers. It doesn't matter if they're wearing a sign that says lupus.
Yeah, that was a wild comment from Smitty to put out there. It was funny, obviously, because no one would be wearing a sign saying they have lupus. But it was surprising that Smitty decided to go after Willie when it was like, who would you want to fight in the office?
That was wild.
Like, Willie. That was probably a poor judgment on his part, because I think Smitty really just wants to fight Dave, really. And he kind of alluded to that on the show, that he like hates Dave. He's like tortured by Dave, but he'd take a bullet for him. So it's a weird relationship they have. But Willie's still figuring out the Barstool way of life, and he didn't get that, like, a lot of that stuff. And I think he actually did get, we use a lot of the office drama as entertainment, and it's all real. But like, Willie didn't get that, at the end of the day, Smitty doesn't actually, think poorly of his mom. Do you know what I mean? There's sort of a, there's a slight, almost like improv in a way. Like, hey, we're having fun with it in a way. We're going to build it up. But at the end of the day, like, I don't want anything bad to happen to your mom. But Willie's still learning the Barstool way that, like, even if you fight in the office with someone, and it is real, like, I do believe Nate versus Smitty right now is very real. And maybe this is a bad example, but at the end of the day, you might, you have the office drama, but, like, you would still be fine to go get a beer. But then maybe the office drama resurfaces during the beer. It's like, you don't really hold grudges. So, Willie also is still learning the idea that we talked about on the show the other day, that in Minnesota right now, while they have a huge house and, like, it's a lot of fun, everyone's really focused on great content, having a good, making it a worthwhile experience. There's a lot of money going into that. And he was like, I thought everyone would be partying, having, like, girls over every night. We're like, it's not really like that. It's like, it's controlled chaos. It's, being the Barstool way, but you're not having randoms over at night, like during the week while you're trying to, create all this stuff. Like Friday, sure. Like after the Barstool party, that's when everything goes out. So we're slowly, and I mean, I'm new, but like we're indoctrinating Willie into what Barstool is.
All about that work. And I got one more. So one more very quick one. My buddy Neil, okay, he's a huge fan. I could not tell you how excited he was when I told him that you were coming on the show. He wants me to ask one question. He says, JSB, I'm a longtime New England Revolution and Everton supporter. We know you like soccer.
Oh.
And then he wrote in parentheses, yes, I hate my life. Which one wins a trophy first and makes my life worth living? Viva. Also, sup.
Wow. That's a really tough question. I think, actually, ironically enough, I think New England Revolution wins the trophy first before Everton. Everton is definitely just not cracking that. But because MLS is such a shit show and that quote unquote parody, literally anyone can make the playoffs. Even like the Revolution can make the playoffs. And then, with like anything randomly happening in these away and home games in the playoffs, like it's always such a shit show. But the biggest thing that I will say is that Brad Friedel, who is now the coach of New England Revolution, great friend of mine, also Spurs and Aston Villa legend. He is going to do a lot of great things with the New England Revolution. So he's already scouting in England, bringing guys over. I think that this is the right time to be a Revolution fan. Can't say the same about Everton, but tell that to your buddies. Go Rebs.
Oh, he's probably listening right now. All right, Julie, thank you so much for coming on. Very happy to have you on again. Follow her on Twitter at JSB_TV. Catch her on Barstool Radio's Barstool Breakfast from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern on Sirius XM Channel 85. Julie, thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys, and good luck with the show. Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you.
Thanks,
have
Julie.
a good night.
Hey.
Good? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? So, Julie Stewart-Binks, Barstool Radio, ESPN, Barstool Radio, Barstool Breakfast, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., Channel 85 on Sirius XM.
I'd say more Barstool now. I think she's floating.
Definitely more Barstool. I don't see her on ESPN much anymore.
I don't either. I mean, I am a fan of her. That's why I reached out, because I was curious to see if she'd come on. And literally, like, at some point, she's going to stop working for ESPN. Because the more you work at Barstool, the more you hate ESPN. So I think at that point, she's going to go, wait, I don't like you. I work for you. I got to quit. Like, that's what's going to happen.
Well, you know what I forgot about? Because I was, you got to do your research on the guests a little bit before the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just, fucking around the internet. And I forgot that she's the one who got the lap dance from Gronk.
Yeah. I knew that's where you were going. I knew it.
And I rewatched that video. That was the most aggressive lap dance by Gronk.
I was thinking about bringing it up, and I was like, it was a while ago. She was on Fox. Like, we're not gonna talk about that.
Yeah, she was. That was my same thought too, because I was like, she was on a different channel. But man, I would have loved to bring that up, because Gronk's lap dance was hysterical. It was literally. It wasn't just like wiggling the hips. It wasn't sexy. It was just aggressive as fuck. It was what you would expect out of a Gronk lap dance.
Yep.
And you know what? I'm not saying I wish I was Julie in that situation, but
you wish
you were Julie in that situation.
you know what? We got to talk about Tom versus Time too. We'll do that in a little bit. Quick.
Whew.
You know that scene? Have you guys seen all 3 parts?
Yep.
I have not seen part 3.
Okay. Well, in part 3,
be a better Brady fan. Come on.
I've worked all day.
Hey, listen, it came out yesterday, first of all. And second of all, there was a part in it where I saw some people weirded out about this on Twitter. And at first when I saw it, I was like, okay, that's interesting. But Tom and his 8-year-old son kissed on the mouth, which is fine. Which is fine.
Like,
but then
it was aggressive.
But when he came back, the second kiss, because it was like a peck, and then he was like, come back here. And then he kissed him again. It was an aggressive kiss. They're
intimate.
It was a couple of seconds. I don't care. If that's your relationship with your kid, that's your relationship with your kid. And fuck it, I don't have a kid. I have no idea. Idea how I would act with a kid. So, but I saw some people reacting about that, and I saw one of my buddies on Snapchat took a video of that, and he posted the caption. I know we're supposed to leave Brady's kids out of this now, but I wish I was Tom's kid in this situation. It was laugh out loud funny. I died. I texted him immediately, and I was like, this is the best fucking snap I saw all day.
That's great.
I guess we could talk about that in a little bit. I might want to talk about that next week. We can maybe touch on it. But the weekly dump, once again, though, Julie Stewart-Binks, Barstool, ESPN, thank you so much for coming on. Great interview. The weekly dump. Okay? Good week. Not a great week, a good week. Weekly dump. New listeners, just quick little tidbits of what happened this week. Gronk did not make it out of concussion protocol today, which he thought that he might as of yesterday. He told reporters last night he thinks he will play, though. He did practice today. Rumor was that he was red-shirted, which means you can't hit him. Mm-hmm. Bill Belichick was like, that's not true. Mookie Betts won his arbitration case, which to me is horrifying as a Red Sox fan. The fact that he even had to go to arbitration.
Over $3 million. Come on.
Bucks.
Remember, Fernando Abad went to arbitration over 50,000, 500,000, something like that.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Fuck him. Fuck Fernando Abad. I love
Fernando Abad.
He got $10.5 million for the 2018 season. The Sox wanted to give him $7.5 million, which he's just worth more than that, you dinks.
Which scares me for the negotiations. You're right, 100%.
Yeah, because Mookie, I guarantee you, if Mookie's pissed at the Red Sox, you heard it here first. Mookie's gonna play his balls off this year, and then he's gonna hit. He's not gonna give the Red Sox just a contract. If he plays his balls off after this shit, he's gonna try to get huge money.
Oh, he'll test the waters for sure.
Big time. And somebody will give it to him. These Mookie Betts. Huge news last night. Absolutely banana land move. So the rumor was yesterday Kirk Cousins was straight up like, yeah, if the Redskins want to franchise tag me, I won't be upset. And then the Chiefs were like, nah, how about we give you Alex Smith, and then you guys can extend him 4 years into a contract for more money. Yep. And then just figure out your Kirk Cousins situation there. The Chiefs made an absolute steal. They also got this young cornerback stud, Kendall Fuller, and a third-round draft pick for Alex Smith. That clears the way for Patrick Mahomes, the young. Was he a rookie this year?
Yeah, which is what they want. And he played a little bit. You saw him play a little bit, and he's going to be good. So
they want Patrick Mahomes to be their starter. Now he can't be their starter. Kirk Cousins is going to be on the move somewhere. He'll sign a huge deal somewhere. I'll be honest with you. I've never been I don't think Kirk Cousins is great. I think he's good. For whatever reason, the hype around him is bananas.
Alex Smith is better.
I don't know about that.
I do. Alex Smith is better.
I used to love Alex Smith, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Ronda Rousey made her surprise, quote unquote. I saw people on Twitter. I saw people on Twitter all day like Ronda Rousey will be there tonight. That's a fact. Ronda Rousey made her surprise WWE debut at the Royal Rumble on Sunday night, where it was announced that Rousey has signed a full-time contract with the company. Kevin Love broke his hand in the first quarter of last night's Cavs blowout loss to the Pistons. Let me tell you, that motherfucker, zero milk was drank in his childhood because he has broken almost every bone in his body.
Oh, and he's living up right now. Kidding me? That team hates him, and he hates that team back. So he gets to spend 6 to 8 weeks away from the team. Good for him. And he's going to come back. He'll come back for the playoffs. He'll be fine. They'll be in the playoffs because the East is still not that great. And then they'll lose in the first round because this team is a fucking mess right now.
I love it. I love it.
They're a mess. They're a damn mess. They are paving the way for the Celtics to go to the finals.
They benched Isaiah Thomas in the fourth quarter and won. Like, they don't know what to do.
I mean, guys, we saw it last year with Isaiah Thomas. He takes stupid shots. I don't care that there are people in the locker room questioning Isaiah Thomas's shot selection because he takes dumb shots. We saw it last year over and over and over and over. He wouldn't pass to the open guy. I love Kyrie. And for anybody going back to the Kyrie Irving-Isaiah Thomas trade who was like, oh, this isn't a good deal. Oh, we love Isaiah Thomas. I'm talking about one specific person in mind right now, but I know there was a bunch. Oh, we love Isaiah Thomas. How could you trade him for Kyrie Irving? Go screw. Kyrie is a godsend for the Celtics this season. He is a king.
And just wait till he plays with Gordon Hayward. Like, this year is great. Like, think about this. Like, this year's great. They're probably going to the finals. It's going to be them or the Raptors. Like, I think because the Raptors are sneaky just under everyone's radar right now.
Yeah, they're not winners. They won't.
No, that's what I'm saying. They're not winners. Like, Kyle Lowry is not a winner. DeMar DeRozan, maybe. But, like, Kyrie will take over and they'll win the East. They'll go to the finals. And what we just saw against Golden State on Saturday, that was a finals preview in my mind. Like, this team.
And it was beautiful.
And then you put Gordon Hayward on top of that. I'm done. This team's going to win multiple championships together. It's going to be fantastic. And they're built for the next 10 years. They're the next San Antonio.
Get me some new pants.
Heifer needs new shorts.
One of my favorite news segments of the week, MLB free agents, because literally nothing has happened this offseason. Because this is why baseball screwed up years ago for not making a salary cap. We have all these psychopaths asking for the world in their deals. Scott Boras is the devil. He's a straight up devil.
That dude's got his pockets lined, though. He's never had a bad deal.
Oh, for himself? The guy is.
That's all he cares about.
Guys making stupid money.
Money.
But like for us, so this is the news. Free agents are debating on making their own spring training for people who haven't signed yet because nobody's signing anybody. And the first domino hasn't fallen yet. It's JD Martinez. Once he signs, I think everybody else signs. But he hasn't signed anywhere yet. So that means Eric
Hosmer signed because Hosmer wants an 8-year deal now.
Hosmer's second. I think once JD goes, Hosmer goes, then the rest of the schmucks all go. But that's it. They're both Boris guys. We have fucking Hosmer asking for 8 years. 8 years. What's the guy, 28?
Yeah,
I do not want to sign a guy till he's 36. Detroit, and you know what terrifies me? Dave Dombrowski's the guy to do it. If it's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Because didn't he sign Miggy's deal too? Cabrera?
He did sign Cabrera's
deal. So let me just go over this quick before we jump into the actual topics. So Dombrowski, we talk about stupid deals. I want JD Martinez. I don't want him for what Dave Dombrowski will end up giving him.
Like $220.
Dave Dombrowski's going to give him a stupid amount of money.
He's going to keep outbidding himself and give him like $220 million, and that's it.
Yeah, it's going to be a contract that what's it, 2018? In 2022, we're going to be like, Dave, what the fuck? Because Dave will not be here in 2022. So we're going to be like, that fucking guy, Dave. You son of a bitch.
It's going to be like Peter Chiarelli, the Bruins, when we go back to...
Jared, we can't hear you.
Jared's gone.
Jared's muted, baby.
Better.
He's back. He's back.
He's back.
And then... Dude, then just think about the 2 deals that Dave Dombrowski did, and they dipped on Detroit, or got fired. Did he get fired? He got fired. Mickey Cabrera signed through his age 42 season. He had a bad year last year. Mickey Cabrera is 33. So you have, 8 more years left on that deal?
9.
That's a Dave Dombrowski deal. And
Scares
Prince
me.
Fielder, Fatty, Prince Fielder.
You love this deal, Nick.
It's my favorite. I just didn't think about it. I didn't connect that it was Dave Dombrowski. Dave Dombrowski gave I will say obese. I think he was an obese man. Am I right? Prince Fielder?
Yeah.
He gave an obese.
More than obese.
8 years? The guy didn't even make it through, I think it was contract season number 4 or 3. So that's just what Dave Dombrowski does. He makes ridiculous deals, and he's going to do that to the Red Sox, and we're going to be pissed about it in a few years. Okay. Sliding on over. Reamer, Brady, controversy this week. So it was the talk. I wish we had the show earlier this week just because I think it would have been better. So Alex Reamer of WEEI station I listen to every single day. On last Friday, last Thursday night on Mutt at Night.
Yeah, he wasn't on the morning show.
No, it was last Thursday night on Mutt at Night. They were talking about, him and Mutt were talking about what they thought about Tom versus Time, the documentary that just came out that day. And then he laughed. Well, this is what I think. And then he goes into, I think his daughter was being an annoying little pissant. I can't remember the exact quote, but he called her an annoying little pissant during the scene when she's on the stairs and Brady's talking on the phone, and she's just being a normal 5-year-old who's excited about her game and wants to talk to her dad. Calls her an annoying little pissant. And then the next day on Friday, not really talked about much. Kirk and Callahan called it, though, the next morning.
Yep.
They were like, this is going to blow up. Didn't blow up at that point. And then on Monday morning is when it really blew up this week, because Brady was on KNC, which he does every single week. And you know what? I'll just read you the quote. Brady, first off, before I say this, it irritates the hell out of me that all of these articles, including mine, the title makes you believe that Tom just kind of abruptly slammed the phone down. Like imagine being in a payphone and slamming the phone against it. He didn't. He said goodbye. He didn't just hang up the phone. This is what he said. He goes, talking to Kirk Minahan. Well, I think that I've tried to come on the show for many years and have showed you guys a lot of respect. I've always tried to come and do a good job for you guys, so it's very disappointing when you that certainly. My daughter. Oh, okay. Sorry. Brady said, screwed me up. When you that certainly my daughter or any child, they certainly don't deserve that. And then he said that he has to reevaluate whether or not he's or his relationship with the show and come on the show anymore, which Kirk understood. And they parted ways, and him hitting the red button on his iPhone. I'm going to assume he has an iPhone because he's loaded. Him hitting that red button on his iPhone X, probably his iPhone X. That was the equivalent of those SpongeBob cartoons where a bomb would go off and then it would show the ocean outside of it and the bomb would just explode outside of the ocean. It was that, because that set off a media frenzy. I got on the Twitter right away and I was like, yeah, you motherfuckers, guess what just happened on WEI? And my Twitter, boom, boom, pow, pow, attention, Couch Guys Twitter, boom, 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 pow, pow, pow. I don't know if I put it on the Instagram, but it was fire. It blew up that day. I mean, Jared, what do you think?
This is what pisses me off about it. This kid is our age, Reamer. He's 25 years old.
24. Yeah, he's your age, you old fuck.
I'm 26. I'm 26 next month, and she's older than me, so go screw. You're a baby. Here's the deal. This kid is 25 years old, and as a prime situation, not many people our age get the chance in this field to be on the air as much as he is, especially in the morning shows and as much as he's in that rotation. It pisses me off that he does something like this, because Tom Brady, who we all covet, no matter how much you might trash on him, Dan Shaughnessy, then you still like the guy. And to come out and trash someone's family, if you're not Bart Scott, you shouldn't be doing that. And here's the deal. I wish EEI would fire him over this, but they won't. Because if he's willing to do something like that, he doesn't have the tenure to do this and get away with it. It's not Mike Felger. It's not, and even then, I think they should fire Felger if he said something like this on the Sports Zone.
They would not. Felger's their guy.
But they wouldn't. Who the hell is Reamer to EEI? Nobody. Can his ass and set an example. I know Brady came out and said, I hope no one gets fired. Like, it's not worth losing someone's career. Someone would let him on the air because he's okay at what he does. But, like, to have the balls to do that, you should not have come out and said that. Like, that's bullshit.
No, and my thing is, you leave family out of it. Like, bash Brady all you want. And his daughter's 5. Give me a 5-year-old that doesn't do what she does. She's a child. She's supposed to be.
I was a mature ass 5-year-old. I was doing my own damn taxes at that time.
Okay,
so.
we can't all be perfect, Nick. I'm sorry, but my thing is, Jared, you said you wish EEI would fire him. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's gay, correct?
Yes, he is gay. He came out on Kirk and Callahan.
Yes, that's right. So they're not gonna fire him because of that reason. Because I don't think he'd play that card, but he might. But
he might. He's kind of a piss ass.
He's kind of a piss ass. But listen, I would love.
I just realized how Nick's voice is.
I think
I got a wide range, baby.
I think he should get fired, but part of the reason I really want him to get fired, not so much that he bashed on Brady's daughter. I mean, like I said, leave family out of it. I want to see Twitter explode. I love when something like this happens, and like I love scrolling through Twitter. I'm like, weenie, jerk off, asshat. It's great seeing their reactions. So, like I said, I don't think that's gonna happen because he's gay, and I hate saying that, but
it's probably true. And I think I'm gonna mute you in a second. You're really on my nerves right now. The biggest thing that pisses me off about this, and you guys should get this as people working in this field. A lot of people bust their asses, us included, to like have a career or do something like this, and then the guy who has it luxury, like handed to him at 25 years old, can now just say what he wants and like that, something like that when he doesn't have a record enough to be able to not get fired. Like that is a firing offense to go after a legend's family when he's given you nothing but success and nothing but courtesy for the last 15, 16 years, however long he's been doing that interview. Come on.
Brady's so classy too about it. He handled the whole thing so well.
I want to jump on that gay thing though. I want to jump on the gay train. No, to be honest with you, I think we're at the point where I don't think him being gay has nothing to do with it to me. He's screwed up, and I don't think he'll be. I think what Tom Brady said on Media Night is going to save his job. I don't think he'll be on air again, at least for a long, long, long time. I definitely don't think he'll be on Kirk and Callahan again because that's their premier show right now. I probably will be for a long time. But I guarantee you he'll still write there. If they fire him, I don't think it'll... Again, I don't think the gay thing has anything to do with it because he's screwed up and it's 2018. I just don't think people pull that card much anymore. Sure, you'll see some douchebags on Twitter who are going to bring that up because people bring that up no matter what. People are going to bring up everything no matter what. Yep. But it doesn't matter at this point. I don't think people even think about that anymore. Reamer's gay. So what? I'm straight.
I kind of forgot, like, until you mentioned it. Like,
exactly.
It's
normal behavior.
I saw that on Twitter, and I was like, oh. I was like, and it was just like people, and that was a whole thread that I just didn't even feel like reading because I was at work. But I'm just like, oh, I remember him coming out, and that there was this whole thing. But I mean, like you said, Nick, it's 2018. People get offended over everything, so who knows? Like that could blow up. But I mean, you hit it on the head. Brady probably saved his job, and he's like, I don't want anyone to get fired. And he deep down, he probably doesn't. He doesn't want anyone to lose their job. But at the same time, like EEI, Kirk and Callahan, that's their show. Brady's their guy. That brings in a lot of ratings. I listen to that show every week to listen to Brady. But
find it on Monday.
Yeah, right. Well, it's funny. Like after the whole thing happened, my brother's like, "Oh, has he been fired yet?" I said, "No, I don't think so." And he's like, "Well, has he landed in Minnesota yet?" I was like, "Nah, I don't think so."
No, they sent him back. He was in Minnesota, and they put him back on a plane and sent him back.
Yes, they did.
Yep.
And honestly, so this is also another factor. If Brady calls EEI and says, "I'm not going to come on the show anymore because of this situation," then I think Reamer is gone completely. But if he does stay on the show, like I said, writing. That's it. He screwed up. He really screwed up. And you absolutely can't say that. And that's something that needs to be, that storyline has to stop. When I'm seeing people are calling into the radio station, I'm seeing it on Twitter. Oh, he's only 24, 25 years old. He doesn't know yet. Yeah, well, listen, I'm 23 and I know you never go after a kid. And I get it. And Kirk has admitted this too. He's trying to be Kirk Minahan. He's watching what Kirk does, and it's successful. Yeah. Kirk is crushing the ratings. They're the highest rated morning show in the United States, if you believe that.
But ratings don't matter.
Highest, I hate people who hide behind a name that's not their name on Twitter and an object or like a Patriots logo. Ridiculous. I hate it. Like, fight me like a man.
Like a Twitter beef. You
love
the excuse to get a fight
with a person, not a bottle of wine. If that guy's listening right now, change your damn picture to you freaking jamoke. Anyway, I forget what I was saying. Yeah, no, whatever. I mean, like that storyline has to stop. Reamer should have known better. He screwed up. It happens. He screwed up a couple of times now. I don't know if you guys know about that. So this is like 2.5 strikes on him. Kirk Minahan suspended himself from the show. So that's kind of one, not an official one. Or in Kirk world, that is an official one.
Yeah.
Suspended there. And then, and then Kirk suspended himself twice because of the Tony Robbins situation where the KNC sent him to the Tony Robbins thing, and then he went on Felger show that night on Comcast Sportsnet at the time, and then Kirk suspended him twice. And then for Chris Curtis's alcohol thing, he said he was going to shoot him down and come out and say that. So yeah, I mean, overall, whatever. It happened. The story's kind of dying down. It's not as hot anymore. It's not as hot in the streets, but it's still a story, baby. All right, is that it? Is that it on that one? Let's slide into Lauren's DMs quick, and then let's preview this fucking Super Bowl. Lauren's DMs. I wish we should get a sliding emoji. I mean, we should get a sliding soundbite put in.
Sound effect, yeah, sliding, I like that.
DMs, baby. All right, so this is honest to God one of my favorite weeks of Lauren's DMs. We've been doing this for 5 weeks. These ones made me the first one made me laugh out loud because I just wasn't expecting it. A lot of these guys theme this week abrupt. You start off the conversation and you're just like, dick, penis. We've got no penis images, but we're just talking penis.
Hey, cutie. Penis.
This guy looks like he's holding his breath in his picture. He goes, hey, gorgeous, are you into cuckolding? First one.
Love that.
First one. He said that 5 days later. So he says, hey, gorgeous, on January 20th, 5 days later. 5 days. Are you into cuckolding?
The worst is I had to Google that. Mm-hmm. Like I told Nick before the show. I had to Google what that meant.
This guy, hey, January 14th. Next day, hey. Next day, hey. No responses from Lauren. Next day, so he's doing this every day. Then he just gets pissed after the third one. Fourth one, hey there. Oh, you're a bitch. Never mind. Fucking damn.
Take a hint, dude. Step off.
Fucking damn. This guy's leaning his head up against the wall. He didn't even take a nice picture. If I'm on Plenty of Fish, I'm taking a hot ass picture. This guy, right to the point. And you know, we should have assumed this because his name is Show Me the something 6996. So we should have expected something. He fires hard. He came with a nuke. Quote, I'm 11 inches.
Wow. He came ready to play.
Oh, he's ready.
That's a straight DM. Guys, listen.
Whoa, I'm 11 inches. Okay, so you're probably like 5. Chill.
Yeah, either that and like he doesn't have his pictures are literally his jeans. Like he took a picture like when you take a camera and like you're trying to hide a Snapchat and you just take a picture of your thigh real quick. That's legitimately his default picture. I'm 11 inches. All right, buddy. This guy, shirtless picture, kind of jacked. He'll kick my ass if I ever see him, probably. Starts it off January 11th. I'd marry you based of looks alone. What I've noticed from Plenty of Fish, nobody can fucking spell.
Oh, it's awful. It drives me nuts.
Another friendly tip based off Nick Quagg's past. Give him good grammar and Lauren will respond.
Nick wants me to correct everyone's grammar.
You should. Yeah. That'd be fantastic.
If you're not interested, just correct the grammar. You are, right? Yeah. I'd marry you based of looks alone. 4 days later, marry me. LOL, JK, you're very attractive. All right, good joke, dude. good fucking joke. And then,
dude, it's cute, huh?
And then 13 days later, you seem like a super cool chick. Plus, you're hot, which helps a lot. LOL. Here's my thing about like using LOL, LMAO. I'm a big LOLer. I like LOL. I kind of feel I substitute that as a punctuation. So like when you use LOL, don't use a punctuation. Don't put a period after LOL because
LOL is the period.
That's what I'm saying. Like that is the period. This guy put LOL then a period. Still spelt most things wrong. This guy, he's got his kid in his picture, so definitely wants you to know he's a daddy. He's a daddy. He wants you to call him daddy. Damn those legs, Lauren. January 28th.
Is that with a Z? Legs with a Z?
Legs, 4 S's.
Oh.
No response 2 days later. Just yummy. Fucking fire. And then
yummy.
We got 2 more. This guy, straight up, would you make love to me? He's taking a picture at about what angle would you say this is? This is an obtuse angle.
This is a selfie angle.
Straight above his head with a cigarette coming out of his mouth and his hat not nearly on straight, which bothers the hell.
Give him credit. He did not say fuck. He said make love.
He
wants a genuine relationship with Lauren. He wants to make sweet love.
He wants some slow, compassionate sex, baby.
He wants to feel all 2 inches.
And then this guy wrote a novel.
Oh, this is a good one.
Let me get going. Your headline says to me you at Fenway, but I'm almost pretty damn positively sure about that 99. That sentence. I'm almost pretty damn positively sure about that 99.9% of guys would most definitely much rather prefer. This guy is repeating himself just in different words this entire way down.
Dude's
much
definitely
rather
drunk.
prefer to meet you at the altar instead, though, babe. LOL. Well, I mean, at least I would most definitely, all caps again, definitely. That's got to be an autocorrect thing, just changing it to definitely caps. Much rather prefer to meet you at the altar instead of Fenway anyway, though, hun. LOL. All right, buddy, listen. I might just be an old-fashioned kind of guy. Seriously. But I'm not going to ask a girl immediately to marry me. Especially over playing. I don't know. Lauren, I know you're not, but you could be a psycho. You could rape me on the first date.
I could.
And guys could be raped.
You could meet at the altar and then kill the person. Like
I could marry him right there.
Fucking fire. That was Lauren's DM this week. Lauren's DM's hot this week. All right. So we can talk about Tom versus Time next week.
Super Bowl, baby. Let's go.
We might need something to talk about if they lose. So
we got a Super Bowl to talk about. We got a motherfucking Super Bowl to talk about. So Patriots, Eagles this week. Nick Foles versus Tom Brady, a Super Bowl that I'm not really too jacked up about it. Maybe. Is it because of the matchup? Probably not.
No, it's because we've been here 8 times.
Probably because I expect this game. This is what, 3 out of 4 years. I expect this game to happen.
Well, we were talking about it with Julie. Like, we're pampered. We're pampered fans. Like our season starts in the AFC Championship game. It's the way it is every year. How many years in a row now is it? 7 that they've been to the AFC Championship game? Like, their season does not start until that title game. Every year now.
Oh my God. And you know, speaking of pampered Patriots fans, I got my girlfriend's dad has season tickets. And let me tell you, I haven't watched a game on TV since, I guess it would be Christmas Eve. I haven't watched a game on TV since Christmas Eve because I went to the Jets game, went to the Titans game, went to the Jags game.
He didn't go? Like, you got to go?
No,
like, how
did you want to go? He didn't want to go at all. He was just giving me the tickets. He was just like, "Hey, Nick, take the tickets."
Tickets here. Tickets. Get your tickets.
Legit. And like last one, I just had to take her little brother, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll literally take anybody."
If you're gonna get me to the stadium, I'll go with her little brother. Sure.
I would do anything. Like, you have to pay for parking. All right, sick. I'm getting free tickets.
I'm getting free. You know how much expensive those tickets were?
Seriously.
So let me talk about this quick. Speaking of that last game, I had a bad gambling weekend last weekend. Mostly because I had a certain amount of money in the Bovada app or the Bovada website.
The app scares me. I'm afraid to.
You know when you use the you know when you're at like a stadium, your phone doesn't work as well because everybody else is on their phones?
Yes. I
tried to bet on the Patriots, and that was going to be my little bet. And then the website glitched and double bet. So I had I had a lot of money. I had a lot of money on the Patriots covering that 8-point spread.
Oh, I'm so sorry, hon. Like, poor baby. Damn internet.
It was garbage. Oh, it was so bad. But yeah, anyway. So, I mean.
But they won.
Yeah. What do we think, though, here? Patriots, Eagles.
Oh.
I'll tell you. You guys start. I'm talking too much. You guys start.
Okay.
Well, no, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Yeah. No.
Now, go.
Okay. They're gonna win this game. Like, if there's any question that they're gonna win this game, you're stupid. It's probably gonna be a good game.
I'm
Don't get me wrong. You're questioning it. They're gonna win this game. It's just
like
a matter of.
It's gonna be a close game with the Jags, you asshat.
Yeah, and it was, but they won.
Yeah, so, you said they were gonna get blown. They were gonna blow their doors off.
And I thought that at the time, but I was completely wrong. I underrated Blake Bortles because Blake Bortles is the reason why it wasn't. Their defense played like I thought they were gonna play. Blake Bortles played out of his fucking mind.
And I think Nick Foles is better than Blake Bortles.
And I agree. So I think Nick Foles can come in and make this a game. It'll be close, but I think at the end of the day, this defense has gotten a lot better every week over the course of the year, the Patriots, and it's a lot easier to stop Nick Foles than it is to stop Tom Brady. And that's where I'm making my decision. It's a lot easier to figure it out when Nick Foles is your quarterback than it is to figure out Tom Brady and spreading out 5 wide with 2 running backs, like all the stuff that they can do and the versatility that they have. The Eagles are going to have to score a crap ton of points because the Patriots are going to score a crap ton of points. And at that point, I pick Tom Brady in a shootout every day of the week.
Yeah, obviously I'm going Patriots. We've been here before. Same thing. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I don't think it's going to be like a 1-score game. It'll probably be like a 1.5 score game. But
I think it's even win by 2 touchdowns when it's all said and done, but it won't feel like a 2-touchdown win the whole time.
Yeah.
They might even be losing at halftime the way they've been playing.
I think there's going to be lead changes. It's going to be close, and then the Patriots are just going to run away with it in the 4th. Well, like we've seen before. Nick Foles, yes, is better than Blake Bortles. And I know I said there's not really a team that scared me. And, Jacksonville kind of scared me. But I just, you're going to sit there and tell me that Nick Foles is going to beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl? No, it's not going to happen.
No, I don't see. I agree with that. But I think the biggest thing is the fact that the toughest test they had was the AFC title game, the defense. The Jaguars' defense is better than the Eagles' defense, and the Patriots took it apart. And they ended up figuring it out, no problem, made their adjustments and moved on. Eagles aren't as good as the Jaguars' defense. It's that plain and simple. And now you're on a neutral site, so it's not even like you're going to Philly with all those trash fans. You're going to be in Minnesota in the cold. So and I know it's indoors, but like the Eagles will have fans there, but it's going to be a neutral site. They won't have people throwing beers left and right. Tom Brady will take over this game at some point, and I wouldn't be surprised if good old Matthew Slater makes a nice big play on special teams to steal it late. Wouldn't be surprised.
Love Matthew Slater.
All right, so what scares the hell out of me is obviously the Eagles' defense, and why it scares me is because they got a badass front 4, and you know what the Patriots lack in? A goddamn good offensive line. The offensive line is weird because some weeks they're really good, some weeks they're really bad.
It's true.
Nate Solder, I think, is good, not great. I used to think he was better than average. Not this year.
Overrated.
I think he's retiring after this year.
That's what they meant.
Joe Tooney has gotten pushed around all season. All season. Fletcher Cox is going to eat his lunch. Fletcher Cox is literally going to go into his locker in the Patriots locker room, open it up, and then eat all of his lunch in the
I
locker
wish it was
room.
legal for Fletcher Cox to wear that mask he wore to his interview, to his media availability this morning during the game.
You probably wouldn't be able to see well. The best lineman on the team is probably David Andrews. David Andrews has been a stud all season. He's a very good center. Shaq Mason, okay. Cameron Fleming, that's what you got to look out for. Thank God he's not on the blind side because the right side is going to be Abe. I would not be shocked if they take James White a lot of the time and they put him right beside Brady on his right side.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to block whoever is coming in from the right, or at least slowing him down to the point where he can go out and dump it off to James White.
And I think you'll see just like Dwayne Allen doing a lot more blocking. I wouldn't be surprised. You see Gronk do a lot more blocking. I think they have a pass rush. That's why they're good, because their pass defense isn't great. They're a good run defense. So if they can protect Brady long enough, the throws will be there. Tom's just got to have enough time to let the routes develop.
Well, that's it though. If they can somehow manage because the Patriots running game, I don't think it's gonna be much of a factor. I wouldn't be shocked if Dion Lewis had a decent game. I think he's going to be it, though, because Rex Burkhead doesn't fare well against teams like this.
It's going to be a Dion Lewis and James White show. It's just going to be
it's going to have to be shiftiness. I love Rex Burkhead. I think he's very good, but it's going to have to be a shifty running back who's going to beat this team. And, yeah, I mean, like you said, the damn Eagles pass defense isn't that good.
Nope.
They're not that good. They had the team overall, the defensive unit for the Eagles had a very good season. A very, very good season. What are they at right now? For the regular season, they finished. Come on, Mac. Oh, you bastard. They finished at what, third overall for points scored per game?
They were third. Yeah.
They were very good with preventing people from scoring, but they were 13th on the year in pass defense, and that's going up against teams throughout the year with mediocre quarterbacks. You're going up against Tom Brady, baby, Rob Gronkowski,
with weapons.
Danny playoff Amendola.
Whew.
Yeah, if Julian Edelman, and that's the factor too. We're saying a lot of people like Julie too and me. If Carson Wentz plays this game, Eagles win.
Eagles win.
Oh, no doubt.
Yep.
But
the way Carson Wentz was playing, Eagles win.
But if you also put it this way, if Edelman was here, Malcolm Mitchell was here, Dante Hightower was here, people forget about all the injuries that the Patriots have had this year.
If you have fully healthy 100% both rosters, Patriots are better.
If both rosters are fully healthy, this is a badass game. Martellus Bennett played on this team for like a couple games. I mean, like if they
imagine Marty B playing in this game again. Oh.
Yeah, if they were fully healthy, it would be probably one of the best Super Bowls that we've ever seen, and we've seen some damn Super Bowls.
That's the story of this season. This season was the season of like just plagued injuries for ACLs and big name players going down the whole year. Yeah,
all superstars through the whole NFL.
It started with Edelman and just kind of spiraled from there.
Yeah, I mean, Richard Sherman, everybody got hurt. Who was that stud? Dalvin Cook, Minnesota?
Yep,
that
Dalvin
kid
Cook.
was
killing it. He was killing it.
Boom, torn ACL.
ACL, gone.
It happened all year. But I think that's going to be the key to the game. I think the Patriots just have to, and I'm not going to use that dumb cliche turnover battle, but the Eagles have a chance to force the Patriots. We've seen what happens to Brady when he gets pressure.
He gets spooked.
Last week in the Jaguars game, Jared, we were texting at that moment.
We were flinched.
There was a time where like nobody was close enough to grab him, but Brady was looking around. He was seeing ghosts.
He saw spirits. I'm convinced. He thought the field was haunted. Like he was seeing something behind him because he was ducking like something was coming straight for him, and there was nobody near.
He saw Michael Strahan coming up the middle again. He was seeing ghosts. And I texted you right after that. I was like, what the hell is he seeing? And I'm worried that's going to happen this week because I don't think the offensive line is going to fare that well. It's going to have to be a lot of quick passes. It's going to have to be a lot of Danny Amendola, a lot of Gronk, a lot of James White.
To Patriots fans, here's my advice, right? At halftime, you're probably going to be losing. Enjoy Justin Timberlake. Don't freak out. Enjoy JT for what it's going to be worth. Maybe we'll get another.
Just don't play that new song. Don't play that new song. That song is
you know it's going to get played, but I want him to play let's play some jams, let's play some old school. I love me some JT. And the last time he performed, they won. So I'm with that. Just enjoy the game for what it is. They're going to probably be losing at halftime. You know they're the best second half team in the league, and they're going to win this game. They're going to win the Super Bowl. And come Monday when he's on EEI, he's going to be a 6-time Super Bowl champion.
Can I tell you, too, about that Justin Timberlake song? Me and Amanda were in the car, and we put on Kiss 108. And at this point, like, I knew he came out with a new song, like, a day before, but I didn't know. I hadn't heard it yet. And I hear this song playing on the radio, and it was so bad, I legitimately said to Amanda, like, I was mad. I was irritated that song was coming into my ears. I was like, this irritates the fuck out of me. Why do they just put anybody on the radio now? Like, what is this, an amateur? And then I Shazammed it, and it's Justin Timberlake. And I was like, what the hell?
It's not the best song he's ever put out, but I don't hate
garbage.
it.
No, it is garbage. I hate
I
that song.
haven't heard it.
It's
really?
Lauren,
I don't have a working radio.
Lauren, listen to it after the show.
Yeah, Brucey's sick.
Oh.
Are you serious? You don't have a working radio?
Yeah, my radio hasn't worked in actually right before Joe and I broke up is when it went. So I think that should have been my first sign right there.
Lauren, I'm going to tell you this right now, straight up. Fuck Jeeps. I will never buy a Jeep. No,
we had this conversation.
I will never buy a Jeep in my life.
Oh, Lauren, my baby hit 100,000 miles today.
Yes, you're welcome to the club.
My Jeep did.
Hey, get ready for that thing to fall apart. You're getting a new car soon.
Life
my
of a
God,
Jeep.
I have-
Life of a Jeep, though. The engine light's on again. Shocker.
Oh,
Nothing's
yeah.
wrong with the car. It just comes on whenever it wants.
Dude,
Mine's
I
on-
drive a Tacoma and it's phenomenal.
my check engine light's on right now. It just came back from the shop 2 weeks ago. I have 110,000 miles on it, but I'll tell you, my baby gets me everywhere I need to be.
Love my Jeep.
I love that thing. That thing is my child. People literally ask me like, "Oh, how's Bruce?" Like
I will
I
tell you
know
that we
my
do not have a
child.
sponsorship for Jeep. If you guys are thinking that while you're listening to this show.
no, that was my college graduation present to myself.
Although I would love the sponsorship from Jeep. Speaking of which, you know what? Whatever. Super Bowl preview done. We already gave you our thoughts on it. Jared, final score, go.
Final score, I'm going with 35-28 Patriots.
Damn.
Ooh, 35-28.
Told you
I'm-
in a shootout.
You did. I am going 34-20 Pats.
34-20 Pats. 27-20 Eagles. I don't think they're going to win. I really don't think the Patriots are going to win this game.
Whoa, hot take. Not really
No,
a
it's
hot
not-
take.
It's not really.
No,
a hot
It's
take.
not really a hot take.
No,
wanna
I
be
just-
dramatic.
Brandon Cooks has been underwhelming all year. If they shut down
He had such a
Amendola,
good game against the Jaguars, against the best defense in the league. He had how many 9 catches, 100
he did.
yards.
I'll give you that. 100,
Come
no,
on.
100 yards on the dot, but he's been underwhelming all year. He is not.
Doesn't matter about all year. Look what he finally did against the best defense. I want what you did last week.
Yeah,
and he figured
once.
it out.
He's done it a couple of times.
Okay,
That doesn't guarantee.
we've seen it
he's
though.
gonna
We've
do it.
seen it here. Receivers need to build a relationship with Brady. It doesn't happen overnight.
You can't wait till the AFC Championship and the Super Bowl.
But it worked, didn't it?
Yeah, that one game. We'll see how this one goes. We'll
He's
see
gonna
how
be a
this
key
one goes.
factor. Key factor. Brandon Cooks.
If they shut down Gronk and Amendola, Eagles easy. 27-20 Eagles. Put it in the books.
Don't you think they're gonna game plan for Gronk and Amendola? Cooks is gonna be able to take over that game. And plus the running backs, they're fine. Calm
And you
down.
know what's gonna happen? You know what's gonna happen? Brady's gonna get the ball back. Minute and a half. One timeout left. Goes up the field. Gets to the 45-yard line. Pick. Game's over. That's how the game's gonna end.
So Nick's predicting he's gonna hit the decline on Sunday. He's gonna hit that. Oh, he's no longer the greatest quarterback ever. That's what Nick's predicting.
I don't think he's gonna hit the Max Kellerman cliff, but I think he will throw a pick to end the game. And I think
watching.
And
We didn't talk about it, but
great offseason content. Oh, is Brady done? Oh, he threw a pick to end the season. No, he's not done.
I will tell you this: watching the documentary that he had put out, and we're going to talk about it next week. Obviously, to kind of go over it more, but it makes me even more confident that he's prepped and ready to go, and he's not going to have a problem in this game. Dude's a machine.
All right, that's it. Couch Guy Sports Loose Change Podcast, episode number 45 in the damn books, baby. Julie Stewart-Binks, thank you so much for coming on tonight. Follow her on Twitter at JSB_TV. Catch her on Barstool Radio's Barstool Breakfast, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Sirius XM channel 85. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, like us on Facebook, SoundCloud at Couch Guy Sports. Look out for a couple of new things coming. Website might look a little different at some point for the better. We might have a couple other things looking a little different. We're going on the up and up every week. Numbers are growing every week. Just keep on going, Couch Guys. We really appreciate it. Let's keep on rocking, baby. Let's keep on rocking. Couch Guys Sports, Loose Change Podcast, episode 45 in the books. Thank you for listening. Have a good damn night.